About a year ago, I started working on something I didn't even have a name for. It was called AI functions. I realized I could have the LLM execute functions within my cloudlet, Magic Cloud cloudlet. And I started playing with it, and I rapidly realized that this is going to change everything. And I wrote articles and created YouTube videos with names such as the GUI, the graphical user interface, is obsolete. App development is completely changing, etc., etc. At the time, most people thought I was crazy. 2 weeks ago, Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, basically came out and told everybody in the whole wide world that I was right all along. He basically says the exact same things as I've been saying now for almost a year. And you can actually go backwards in my YouTube videos and see, for instance, the video where I explain why the graphical user interface is dead, why AI agents are changing the way we interact with computers, and my arguments for why it is a better way to interact with computers, etc., etc. Now, to illustrate what I mean, let me demonstrate some of the stuff we're doing at AINIRO. Here I am at app.ainiro.io. You can try this out today. app.ainiro.io. And you can see here now, what I'm basically doing is that I'm giving a function instruction to the LLM. I'm telling it to search the web. The LLM, of course, knows already that it has the capabilities of executing a function that basically scrapes DuckDuckGo, returns the results for them to scrape the most relevant URL result it can find from DuckDuckGo to answer my original question. As you can see here, it successfully searched the web and it found several sources, and it scraped one of them and created a summary for me. Now, I can also, if I choose the ChatGPT search, probably a better type, I can also tell it to, for instance, scrape ainiro.io and tell me what it's about with one sentence, such as this, for instance. Now, the point being that your applications, every single app you have ever created in your entire life, has two components. It has a backend and it has a front end. This thing here will replace every single front end you have ever created or seen in your entire life. Why? Because it is simply a superior way to communicate with the computer. Do you want to have 600 buttons, drop-downs, checkboxes, and radio buttons and input fields? Or do you want to have one? Now let me show you something else you can do with this guy, just to illustrate how deep this goes. List all albums sorted by names. List top 15 albums sorted by names. Here I'm giving a very, very specific instruction to the LLM using natural language. Any non-software developer can probably easily write prompts such as these and reproduce my result, implying you don't have to be a programmer anymore to use the API. And since the natural language interface, this AI expert system, which we refer to it as in AINIRO, is based upon natural language, this provides simply a superior means to access my application. Now, in the famous podcast where Satya Nadella said that SaaS is dead, he didn't really explain why it was dead. However, I instantly recognized what he was referring to, of course, because I've been saying the same thing for a year. Right, but it's of course very, very, it's an honor for me to have Satya Nadella, of course, come out and basically echoing my words from a year back in time. But he didn't really explain it that much, so I created a video, but I had 320,000 impressions of that video. And as a fun fact, approximately almost like 20% of those actually reading my status update at LinkedIn and watching the video were actually employees from Microsoft. So I can only assume that they wanted me to explain what Satya Nadella actually had intended when he went on that podcast. And later, Satya Nadella has come out and further clarified what he meant when he said SaaS was dead. And he specifically mentions, for instance, the GUI is going to become obsolete. We're going to use natural language based input prompts where we're providing instructions to the LLM using natural language, etc., etc. He basically used the exact same arguments as I did. So I said this a year ago, and we already have existing clients in AINIRO that are already replacing and creating their own natural language based AI agents based upon our technology. And if you're interested in staying, apparently, 1 year ahead of Satya Nadella, then contact us. Have a nice day.